Much like most popular consumer apps and the biggest e-commerce players in India today, a team of 4 Noida-based professionals also spotted an opportunity in the world of fashion. But they decided to focus on apparel manufacturing. So Manasij Ganguly, Mosami Ambastha, Abhishek Srivastava and Bratish Goswami co-founded ThreadSole in 2012 and created a software called IntelloCut that saves fabric for manufacturers and cuts down production time, leading to major cost savings for manufacturers. Now, backed by angels like Rajan Anandan of Google and Bloom Ventures, ThreadSole today has a presence across 12 countries and is headquartered out of Singapore. We caught up with the team in the capital to find out more about their story.
All of us in this organization, we are driven by the fact that by 2020, we have to become the top garment tech company in the world.
Husband-wife duo of Manasij Ganguly and Mosami Ambastha decided to set up ThreadSole after Mosami, a NIFT graduate and former consultant, spotted a missing link in the fabric manufacturing and production space. So they joined hands with friends and decided to take the plunge.
Mosami and I have been married for the last 11 years. Hopefully it will last for a few more years. Abhishek and British have been long-term friends with me, and friends stick with you generally. So I did a startup stint in US for a while. I came back to India, and it got you thinking that maybe we should try something of our own. Mosami has the expertise for the domain, right?
And that is where I saw that this problem is a persistent problem across the factories, and I was looking for a solution which was not available. Most of the products that are available, they focus on only one part of it, okay, which is called the packing algorithms that are there, which is there in every industry. Like in metal, if you pack pieces together, even if the pieces get wasted, you can melt and make the sheet again. But in material like clothing, the material is so difficult to manage and there are so many variations. It's much more complicated in terms of the production processes, and therefore it required somebody who understands the on-floor problems of the people and then interpret it.
Every garment which we wear is made out of 500,000 factories in the world. Each garment that you are seeing right now, 70 to 80% of its cost actually comes from the fabric. Now, if there is a way for us to reduce that fabric consumption, we not only leave dollars in the pockets for the manufacturers, but we do a lot of good to the environment as well. So therefore, what we have done here is we have crafted a solution which is prescriptive in its nature, which solves this problem and ensures that the manufacturers have enough dollars to pay us as well.
With no godfather in the fashion apparel industry, it was simply feet on street for the team. A task made doubly difficult as they were focused on bagging only the biggest players.
So what we did was, we went to these largest players in every geography and we knocked on their doors, hoping somebody will open the door or a window or whatever one day. And trust me, if you do that for a while, you get hurt. And that's how we did it. I mean, it's important to understand that when you are selling to these markets where the word of mouth is your biggest weapon, you cannot start with a small guy because then nobody is going to hear you. You've got to convert the biggest pins first and then it will trickle down for you.
So we at Blackberries, we use fabric from all over the world, and fabric is really where our product development and a lot of our efforts are centered into. So that's a large cost for us. So when they approached us about 2 years back, we used to do a lot of Excel and do a lot of back of the envelope sort of calculations to get into fabric orders, to get into consumptions. And when these guys came in, there was an opportunity to save some fabric. And I would very confidently put that figure in excess of 2% what we've saved overall in fabrics. So given the fabrics that we import from mills in some in China, some a large part in India, also some from Europe, that's a very, very satisfactory saving for us.
Right now we have 2 products, IntelloCut, IntelloBuy.
Not only does the team deploy the software, but also undertakes training of the manpower, thus upscaling traditional workers in the enterprises.
We have a battery of 3-4 other products that we already have conceptualized in our head, and we need to work around that. Plus, why only apparel industry? Anything which comes in a roll form can be converted into a product, can use our algorithm to improve their productivity, be it footwear, sporting goods, automobile sector, and all of these sectors requires little changes within our product which actually we can utilize to improve their productivity as well.
With over 80 factories in 12 countries that produce over 2 million garments every day using ThreadSol software, this translates to over $1.5 billion of garments that are being planned by using the startup. With revenues currently at $2 million, ThreadSol wants to touch the $50 million mark by 2020.
You don't start up every day, right? To me and to my entire team, what matters is the fact that we should be able to score a goal on the global scale. That's it. So yes, if there is one customer in Bolivia, I will fly. My team will fly and we will convert that. That's what it is. It has to be a global story. It cannot be a story localized in Noida, Sector 52, Pocket B, whatever that it is. It has to be a large global story which we can tell our generations to come, so that we can get inspired.
Well, here's wishing the team at ThreadSol all the very best for the future, and welcome to the Young Techs community. With that, it is